Odell, complete concrete. Odell, complete concrete.
Hi, David Odell with Odell Complete Concrete. This is another section of concrete on this property. I've done multiple areas already. This is the second of the most recent parts that we're putting up. There is a third part to this. It's a whole nother demo setup for. In this one, we're going to show this side of the shipping containers, concrete all the way down. It's going 16 feet out, and it's about 60 feet long. And because this is a metal shop, they're running forklifts around here, a lot of heavy materials. We're going 6 inches deep with the concrete, and we're going to do road base because a lot of times I won't even use road base. It depends on the ground that I run into, and in this case I'll ride on the other side of the shipping containers. I did another area of concrete, and as I got into the native dirt, as I removed this gravel, it was a lot of clay in it, so I over-X'd, and I'm bringing road base in. I'm going to bring road base in on this as well, on this side, and we're going to go through the concrete plant, and we're going to show where they mine all this to make concrete, to make the road base. I'm just going to kind of wander through there with my dump trailer, make a pickup, and talk to dispatch, and just show a little bit of what goes into getting concrete. So I got my laser level out. I want to just cross slope this, and I had a weird scenario. See that chunk of concrete on the left of that first shipping container? That slopes towards the bin or towards the container and then out. So that's going to be a valley coming across from there. Real slight, not visually, but that's where it's going to run when water's on it. Out of that, that's kind of a low point. Now here's the secondary gate. They got 2 roll gates, so it's a wraparound or like a circular driveway that goes around the shipping containers. So we're going 6 inches deep concrete, number 3 rebar on 2-foot centers. This concrete's about like a 4,000 psi, and you'll get a chance to see it going down and how sticky it is. A lot of times the more cement that's in the concrete, you'll notice when it hits the ground it splatters a lot more, and that's what happened with us on this one. But I had plastic on everything, so it didn't really matter. Using 2x6s, and these 2x6s I just took from the other side of these containers, moved them right over here. Already been oiled about 3 times from different pours, so they're well saturated. Right from the oil from this truck that I'm driving right here, actually. All right, heading for the concrete plant to get some AB road base compacted underneath the slab before we pour. Some farmlands here and there. I'm going to get about 3.5-4 tons to start with. It might be enough. I might need a little more. We'll spread that, see how far it gets us, and then go from there. There's the high school we just passed by, Valley Raceway. They got a dirt track, they've got a figure 8, they do crash up derby, the whole works out here. I haven't been here to this batch plant yet, so gotta kind of find it. It looks like it's out that way. I'm gonna go down here and check in at this office. It looks like I seen a sign that said office over here somewhere. Oh, here it is, over here. We got an office there. And we have another office over here. More vehicles at this office, so we'll go to this one. Hi, how's it going?
Hi, how are you?
Good. I wanted to get some road base.
Okay.
In my trailer. 3.5-4 tons, something like that.
Do you want to go load up and then just come back?
Okay.
We can do it that way.
Where's the load up area?
Just straight back. I'll text him and tell him to meet you back there.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
Do they have a scale that
He
they
does
do
on
it?
the loader.
Oh, he has it on built into the loader.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I'll head back there. We got 7 trucks there. And it looks like we've got 3 over here. Those probably are broke down. Those 7 probably work. Looks like 2 are out right now. Wow, this goes. They're mining here too. So there's probably exporting a lot of this material. So they've got a big mining operation, looks like, back here. See a bunch of conveyor belts back there. So they basically make their own material here. They probably have to bring in cement, but gravel and sand, they get this right here local. And then they ship a lot of it out. Here's some pea gravel. It's nice, looks like some nice material. Really find some really coarse sand. I don't know where they got that rock. It's a lot darker though than the rest of it, so I don't know what that is. Almost looks like asphalt. Looks like they're grinding right over here. Oh, he's waiting for me right here. He's got me a load ready to go. Oh, okay, great. That's a good load. Renee doesn't work in this area, huh?
This is Renee. I am Renee.
Oh, you are Renee?
Yeah.
Oh, I was the one talking to you.
Yeah, we talk all the time.
Yeah, I thought Renee was a concrete truck driver. No, huh?
That's Andrea.
Oh, that's Andrea.
Yeah.
Oh, I got them mixed up.
Yeah, I'm not out there driving nothing. I can barely drive my own car. 6266.
It's a big operation you got going back there, huh?
Yeah.
It's a big mining, huh?
We just started the crusher. Yes, Monday.
You're crushing concrete?
No, just.
Oh, rock?
Yeah.
Oh, so you make your own rock then? You're digging up big rocks and making little ones.
Mm-hmm.
Was that guy welding back there for water, for the washing or something?
Probably. I don't know what goes on back there. I went back there yesterday for the first time in like 5 months.
Do you guys, a lot of it gets exported out of here then, I guess, huh?
We deliver a lot out. Yeah. Just sign that for me. Monday the 14th. I'm completely open. Pick a time.
Let's go at 5.
So 20 yards again. Same address.
Yeah.
Same mix, everything.
Yeah, same everything.
All right, I got you down at 5 a.m.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thanks.
Andrea, right?
Andrea's the driver. I'm Renee.
Oh, yeah. All right, bye. Take a closer look at this batch plant here. Looks like it's just a little portable unit. Well, that about wraps up getting base. 4 point, I think she said 4.1 tons, $60. All right, that was an interesting tour. So that's how much base I got out of there. And you can tell they made this themselves. They had some sand or some fines. They mixed it with some bigger rock. You know, it was a little bit, it's not a ground up concrete or ground up asphalt. This is just some native stuff. But it doesn't have the clay in it. That's the important thing. Like the native base that I'm working on, the native ground, it had a lot of clay. And you could tell by the way the plate was sticking. The plate compactor was sticking to the soil, so that's when you know there's a lot of clay. That's why I brought in some of this base material. Now right here, there was a rock jammed in there I had to wedge out. And then I noticed my track was starting to come apart. One of the metal chains came out of the rubber, so it was still held together, but one of them fell out on that job. So I drove it back home, and I had spare tracks. I always have spares in case one breaks. So I just brought it here. Took me about 15 minutes to do this change. Easier than changing tires. So it was nice. And then I was messing around looking at my hydraulic lines because I noticed there was a slight leak in one of them. You know, it was for the attachment. It's an attachment line that I actually never used. I could have plugged them, but I ended up putting new lines anyway. Because this has a high flow, then it has your low flow side. I always use the low flow for my breaker and my hoe attachment. And that high side I haven't used yet. It's more like for rototillers, brooms, stump grinders. That side I haven't really used yet, but maybe one day I will. So I just replaced the line on that. So here's the rebar layout. I just ran them wild over the form, and then I just went along there and snipped them off after it was already kind of in place. So it's just me and Eric on this one, and he's back at Perkins now. Perkins, he's a chef now over there. So that's his side gig when we're not placing concrete. This is 5 a.m. in the morning. We got Brandon on the drone here, and it's actually really dark out. I have light towers up, but these cameras are, you know, making it look pretty light outside. Pretty good. That drone really picked up a lot of light. Basically, I poured as much as I could reach from the chute without backing over the concrete that was underneath that rolling gate because I didn't want to smash it or crack it. Then I brought them all the way around, and we'll pour the rest of this out. And we have another truck en route. Here's Joey laying it down along the edge. Doug's on the chute. And we have Greg on the come along. So we had a little dip in the screed board there, but that knocked it out. Here's your second load coming in. So at 6 inches deep, you can do about 54 square feet, 1 yard of concrete. At 4 inches, you can do 80 square feet. That's, you know, those are some simple ways to calculate your concrete. Or if you want to, you can just multiply. Like if it's 6 inches deep, you can just go 0.5 times your width times your depth. I mean, your depth is 0.5, but width times length times depth divided by 27 cubic feet in a yard. You see that big old ball up there in that chute, man? It jammed the whole chute because it wouldn't even go underneath that little cross support on the chute. Not really sure why that happens. I think it's the sequence that they add the materials, so it's balling up before it can get mixed. If anybody knows why you get those balls in there, let me know, and I'm going to pass it along. I think it might be the way that they're batching. So I got Greg and myself are on the rod board. This is where that little valley comes in. Right about there it comes across. This stuff's setting up fast because we're about, I think we started pouring at 5 in the morning. Now it's still about 90 degrees at that time of day. So it's going off quick. It's a high PSI. But I do have a retardant in here, 2% retardant. I have a water reducer as well. So it's workable like a wet load, but actually there's not that much water in it. Which means you're not going to get the shrinkage cracks. The less amount of water you can get it down with, the less shrinkage cracks you're going to have. The ideal mix, if it could be done, would be a complete dry pack. If you could just get it moist, consistently just moist to where you can pick it up with your hand and smash it into a ball and it stays, that's the ideal mix really, but it's too hard to lay down like that. That's why they put a lot of water in it usually, so you can actually make it flowable and workable. And we're going to be cutting some joints off of every edge of the containers. Plus we're going to split the entrance. And we're also going to run a saw cut lengthwise all the way down. We'll do that the next day. But all these cuts we're putting in today will get me through the night before we get any cracking. And then I'll come back early in the morning and then cut that long one. We got a 4-foot magnesium bull float with a rocker arm right there. Also, we'll be running some Fresno with weights as it sets up. So I'm down there on that edge where we got that valley cut across, and I was just checking I kind of used a little 2-foot hand level to make sure the water is flowing across at that point. Oh, there it is. There's the level. Here's the funny trowel coming out. I think about 35 years ago, there was no such thing as a funny trowel. You had Fresnos, but no funny trowels. Or funny floats for that matter. So there has been some improvements in the process of finishing concrete. Not a whole lot, really. It hasn't changed much since it was originally created, I think. Where was it? In Rome, I believe. And it hasn't changed much since. The mixing, the placement, It's pretty basic. Here I am here, knee boarding down the sides. Greg jumped in on the other end. This little area kind of went off, so knocked it out. I have styrofoam against that container at the bottom too. In case that container moves, it won't affect the concrete. Here's Doug on the sliders. Me and him are gonna go down this whole thing just like that all the way out. And then we got Joe on the joint, Greg on the broom. Nice little system here. You notice that hole under the container? A lot of little bunnies, cottontail under there. But I think he's gonna seal them up, put some metal down and close that off. Also, we got Joe's son over here, Braxton. He's working that funny trowel as well. We're not using a whole lot of hand joining. Some just knee boarding and then walking joiners, cleaning it up. But here's your final touch, a little broom on here. That way we make it a non-slip finish, because if you leave it smooth finish and it gets wet, it can get really slippery. Even the broom finish will wear off at some point in time. But what you'll end up having is more like a sand wash finish. But if you use a smooth, they hold up a lot longer. It's because it's a lot harder surface. So it'll remain smooth for a long time if you do a hard trowel finish. So here's your final. It's a little drone action over the top. The curing compound's on there. And I'm just cleaning up the edge of the concrete, getting any spillage off of the existing. But here's a whole look at this. They've got the containers. They've joined them with some roofs. Also, the next phase is more roofs off of the new concrete. So there will be an awning over all of this concrete here, as well as the other side. And I do have more projects on this site, so I can show that too when I start the next phase. The way I'm cutting this is I've got the Milwaukee early entry saw. It's got a little 6-inch diamond blade on it, fully battery powered. It has a little guide. I have a remote start and stop for the vacuum that I hooked up. That vacuum is the dual HEPA filter with a fleece bag in there that all the dust goes into. And it's on wheels, so it just follows me as I pull it through. And this is ideal for these commercial projects where there's no power. battery power, man, is the way to go. I always thought I'd never use battery powered, you know, because I was always a corded guy forever. And then I started using this corded stuff, and I always thought, well, what if my battery dies, this and that? I'm not going to have any. But, you know, when you got enough batteries, you get through every day just fine. And then you just got to charge them when you get home in the evening, and they're ready to go the next day. So right here, I'm just deepening these lines on every intersecting point of my joints. I go through and deepen it with this 9-inch cordless Milwaukee. It's got a 9-inch diamond blade on it. So wherever it hits the edge, I drop that blade all the way down, both sides. That way the crack, when it does start to crack, it'll stay on that line all the way through. Little details that people don't think about or usually don't do, but it makes a big difference in the long run. Well, that wraps up this one. She turned out beautiful, and that's why I keep going back to the same project over and over again, because of the detail. Anyway, have a good one. Thanks for watching. Bye.